ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ. O Lord, please make us healthy physically, mentally, intellectually, emotionally. May also hear good, do good, and see good. Om, peace, peace, peace. Dear devotees, we are at the end of the Prashna Upanishad. As you might remember, the Prashna Upanishad started with a question. This is an interesting thing in the Upanishads we see. So they don't ask us to believe, they ask us to examine. And how the teachings has been imparted in the Upanishads, it is through question and answers. It is not monotype. The teacher is telling and the student has to listen. Student has to accept. Student has to obey. No. That's where the Upanishads or the Vedanta is not based on the faith, rather it is based on reasoning and experience. So I always say that there is a three-tier approach to prove for any philosopher like Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, any acharyas, teachers, philosophers have established their school of philosophy based on three-tier approach. One is Shruti, what the scriptures are saying. Second, is it logical? Well, the scriptures might say, the Vedas might say, which is the foundational text of the Hinduism, but is it logical? Is it rational? Is it reasonable? Yes. And is it experienceable? Scriptures are saying it is rational also, but it goes against the experience. If that is the case, then we can't accept. So all the three boxes has to be ticked. Then only a philosophy or an argument can be acceptable in the Vedanta. That is the beauty. And this Prashnopanishad started with 6 questions. Or rather, Prashnopanishad has got 6 chapters, and each chapter starts with one question. There are 6 students and one teacher, of course, not 6 teachers. So 6 students, one teacher, one by one, with all reverence, with all respect, they are asking a question. Sir, this is my question or this is my doubt. Will you be kind enough to clarify my doubt or answer my question? That's how it started. So the 6th chapter started with the 6th question. What was the 6th question? So the Sukesha Bharadwaja, he told, my dear, I have been asked by the prince. He was the prince of the Kosala Desha. So he approached me because he thought I am a learned person, I am a knowledgeable person in scriptures. So he expected an answer. What was the question? Can you tell me that Purusha who is endowed with 16 kalas? Kala means here components, factors, 16 parts we can say. Shodasha Kala Purusha. Who is known as Shodasha Kala Purusha? Can you tell? Then Sukesha Bharadwaja, fortunately or unfortunately, he didn't know. He said, my dear prince, I do not know. Then the prince thought probably it's like trade secret or a professional secret. He doesn't want to teach me. He doesn't want to reveal to me. Or maybe he's thinking I'm not eligible candidate, eligible person, so he's avoiding the answer. So in that tone, the prince looked, probably prince might have questioned the Sukesha Bharadwaja. Then Sukesha said, my dear, no. Really, I mean it, I do not know the answer. And why should I tell lie? Telling lie is what? It is a self-destruction. So I never lie. I am telling honestly truth, and the truth is what? I do not know. Now here, two, three things we can understand regarding Sukesha. One is he is truthful. So because I am Vedantin, that doesn't mean that I can lie or I can be away from the ethics and morality or values. The spiritual life is based upon ethics and morality and values. Without ethics and morality, no religious life, no spiritual life, no monastic life, or nothing is possible. So he is displaying that he is truthful and is honest. Why is honest? Because he doesn't know. He is a reputed person in the society. Is known as knowledgeable person in the society. But in spite of that, when he knew or when he doesn't know, he was very sincerely, he told that, sorry, I do not know. He could have given some answer and he could have packed the prince. He could have sent the prince, probably. He would have made the ignorance as his, what you say, as a principle for his arguments. But he was sincere and honest enough to say that I do not know. So these are the few values we can learn from these Upanishadic seers. Why they were able to understand and experience the truth, because they were honest, they were truthful, their mind and sense organs were controlled, and they knew what is right and what is wrong, and they were able to put into practice. Many times we know what is right and what is wrong, but we are not able to put into practice. We are not able to hold on to the truth, hold on to that ultimate reality. Okay. Now, before getting into the Shodashakala Purusha, I will give the outline and I will go to the sloka, the fourth mantra. So, Shodashakala. Shodasha means 16. Kala means it is parts or components. You have to be clear. So, it is 16 parts. Now, the 16 parts can be classified into three groups. In Upanishad, it is not there. Just for understanding sake, I am telling. First group is external group. External group in the sense we can perceive things outside, perceivable for everyone objectively. So there are 9 components in this first group, external group. There are 5 elements. 5 elements are which? Ether, air, water, fire, and the earth. The whole universe is made up of permutation and combination of these 5 elements. These are the 5 elements. Okay. Then the world is universe. The universe is made up of 5 elements. So there's a product. So this is the 6th one. Okay. The 7th is what? Food. Any type of food you can say. Sweet or maybe dessert or a pasta or a pizza, bread or vegetables, fruits, anything consumable, any type of food basically. That is what? 7th. Then Viryam. Viryam means here nutrition or the energy which we get when we consume the food. Nutritious value, nutrient value, we all speak that. That is what. The last one is name. Where there are 10 people are going on, say when I say John, the person who has got a John, maybe say John Hamilton, because there may be 2 Johns. John Hamilton, when I say, John Hamilton is the only person who responds to my call, not others in the group. And whatever we correspond in the life and whatever we think, without name, we can't think. For example, there is a table. Now, without using the word table, if I say, oh, there's a thing you see, there's a thing you see, there's a thing you see, it doesn't make any sense. Without a name, we cannot think. Even we cannot conceive an idea at all. So name is very important. Okay. So these are the 9 components. Then the second is internal group. Internal group is because we can only perceive our things. We cannot perceive others actually. There are 3 components in the second internal group. One is prana. Prana means not the breathing here. Prana means the energy. The second is manaha, mind. And the third is indriyam, sense organ. Of course, we have got 10 sense organs. All 10 sense organs, they are put in a one group called sense organ. Okay. So 9 external I mean, 9 components in the external group, 3 components in the internal group, and the 4 is what? Shastric group. What? Scripture group. The group named called scripture. What is that? Mantra. Mantraha. Mantraha means here Vedas, or we can take any scripture. World scriptures, any scripture of the religion we can take. Then karma. Karma means action. Then tapaha. Tapaha means austerity, but the commentator Adi Shankaracharya says here tapas should be taken as worship or meditation. Then shraddha. Shraddha means we say faith or belief. It is not just mere faith, faith backed with the practice. Faith backed with the practice. So 9 plus 3 plus 4. You can imagine now 16 components over. So Shodashakala Purusha means Purusha who is having these 16 items, 16 components. Or rather, the Purusha is manifesting as these 16 components. 9 external group, 3 internal, and 4 Shastric group. So we can say the Brahman is manifesting as the world. Now in the Dakshinamurti Stotra, in the 9th verse we study this. Vishwarupa Ishvara means the Lord is appearing as the world. So here also Purusha means it is not individual self. Here Purusha means Ishvara or the supreme self, cosmic self. The cosmic self as manifesting in the world. The Upanishad is trying to say how in this 16 elements are these through 16 parts. So basically, the theory of creation has been given from this Shodashakala Purusha. Purusha means the supreme self or the almighty or the divine. So divine is manifesting as the empirical universe through these 16 items. Okay. Now, so Purusha means again, you should remember not an individual self, it is an Ishvara or cosmic self. Okay. Now, if you see the theory of creation from the, from the Indian philosophy point of view, there are called materialists, Charvakas. Oh, the world exists, that's all. Whatever is perceptible, it is only true, that's all. Now, when you see atomists, there are also atomists in Indian philosophy also. The school of philosophy is Nyaya, logical realism, then Vaisheshika, atomists, and the Mimamsakas. Mimamsakas, Purva Mimamsakas, who upheld the karma, yagna, yaga, and all. So these 3 schools of philosophy propose a theory that the world is been created or the world is made up of atoms. The present empirical science, whatever it is saying, that more or less similar idea we can see. The second group of people called Sankhya and Patanjala Yoga. For them, this whole world is made up of Trigunatmika Prakriti. There is a component called Prakriti, which is eternal, which has got 3 attributes or qualities, Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. So when there is a disturbance in the equilibrium between Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas, the creation starts. They have got theory of creation their own. Okay. And there are theistic schools of Vedanta, like qualified monoism, then dualism, and so many other permutation combination. So theistic schools of Vedanta, they say that God created the world. Is roughly we can say Semitic religions. The Semitic religions concept in the dualistic theistic, dualistic Vedantic school comes, but because qualified monism has got little different in here. So for all of them, God has created the universe. Now Advaita Vedanta is the only philosophy which says that the God or the Ishvara is being appearing as manifesting as universe. That is called Vivartavada. Vivarta means appearance. Theory of appearance. Vada, theory. Theory of appearance means the world has been, how this world, whatever we are seeing this world, how to understand this. The Brahman or the self, supreme self or the consciousness is appearing as the world. Now you say, Swami, till now it was okay. Now it is very difficult to understand. How the consciousness can appear as matter? How the consciousness can appear as mundane self? The question might come. The best example is what? Dream experience. In the dream, I had a dream. In the dream, I went to, what you say, for an example, Ring of Kerry. Ring of Kerry is a beautiful place in the Ireland, West Coast. I went to Ring of Kerry, and in the Ring of Kerry, I had a water play and I had a beautiful, what you say, view of the nature. Then I had a play. I ate delicacies, desserts. Maybe Ireland is famous for guineas. So I had my guineas and I had exchange of hot words with some fellow traveler and had a good time. Basically 2 days I had a holiday. I had a good time in Ring of Kerry and I was returning back and I was staying in the Ring of Kerry. Then the alarm rang. My sleep broke. Now I got up, I see there is no Ring of Kerry. Before getting into bed, going to bed, where I was there, in the same place, before the dream, during the dream, after the dream, I was in the same place. Okay. Now, who was the experiencer? I was the experiencer. Okay. When you precisely say, who is this I, means my mind actually, because my sense organs were not active in those time, in the dream time. So my mind was alone active. My mind was an experiencer. Okay. I had experience of enjoying the guineas. I had experiencing of viewing the nature. I had an experience of quarreling some with a co-traveler. So the experience, what was that experience again? It was again in the mind only. Okay, there was a content of the experience. I was enjoying the ice cream. That is the content of experience or experienced. Where was that experienced? Again, mind. So mind took the role of experience, act of experience, experiencer, and experienced. Now you say, what is this mind? Mind is a sense organ, that's all. Or rather, the present science say, oh, mind is probably in the brain. It is a brain activity. Now, brain activity is the brain is what? Just a matter or with some cells, that's all. Now it can assume it can take the role of experiencer, experience and experienced. Then why not? This consciousness cannot take this role thing, cannot take the role of experiencer, experience and experienced. Experiencer is individual self. Experience, of course, you understand. Experienced is what? The world. So the mind is taking the experiencer, experience, and experienced role. If so, then why can't the consciousness can take the role of these three things? Now, the question comes for might of you. Okay, Swami, when we are in dream, we can understand because now we got up and we understand that was a dream and it is not right, it is not true, or it was only dream experience or whatever. But how can you say this the waking experience? Because we are all of us, we are experiencing. Then the scriptures say, yes, my dear. When you were in dream experience, unfortunately, Shantivratananda comes even in this your dream and says, oh, my dear, whatever you are experiencing, that is not real, it is an appearance. You might hear Shantivratananda's Vedantic class or Prashna Upanishad class, and you may say, maybe Swami, but it is real for me. Now, when you get away, when you came out from the dream state, when you were in so-called waking state, then there is no one is required for you to tell that was in a dream. It is no real. It is not real. Your own experience of the waking experience is negating the dream experience. The Shastras say, especially Mandukya Upanishad, when you go to the Turiya Avastha, it is not a fourth avastha. Basically, when you remove the ignorance, when the ignorance is destroyed, you will understand even the so-called waking state is also like a big dream or it is an appearance. It is also a big state, a big dream state. So the waking experience or the waking state is also like a dream state, a big dream, very big dream, that's all. Okay, so now you can understand how the Ishvara is manifesting as the world. Example, dream experience. Now we will go into the shloka now, or in the mantra. Saha pranam asrujata pranat shraddham kam vayur jyotirapah prithvi indriyam manaham Annam, Annat Viryam, Tapo Mantraha, Karma Lokaha, Lokeshu cha Nama cha. Okay. So now Saha. Here Saha means Purushaha. Saha means he. He is a pronoun. So he means who here? He means Purushaha. Again, Purusha means what here? Ishvara, cosmic self. Okay. Saha means Ishvara. Pranam Asrujata. Okay, first and foremost, one more interesting thing is, where is this Purusha is there? Oh, maybe he's in the Yavan, he's in the above world, or maybe inside in the water, hiding himself, or in the secret place is he hiding? No. Ihaiva antasharire. Again, if you remember the earlier classes, in the second or third mantra, we saw. Where is this Purusha? Iha antasharire, in this body, my dear, inside this body. So why the spiritual, as a part of spiritual practice, meditation is given importance? In meditation, what we are trying to do? We are trying to cut our connection from the external world, and we are trying to focus inside and try to experience the reality, trying to experience the God, trying to experience the self. If I don't experience the God or self in me, I cannot experience the God in others or in the world. If I cannot experience the peace in me, in myself, I cannot radiate the peace for others. It is all nonsense and it is bullshit. If I cannot experience the God in me, I cannot see the God in others. I cannot see the God in the world. That's why Ihaiva Antasharire. The Purusha exists in this body, inside this body, and he exists in the outside of my body, or in this mundane world, or everywhere. Okay. So that's why Swami Vivekananda says, don't seek God, see God. Don't seek God means you are seeking something, means it is an external thing. See God means experience the God, because he is inside in you, is in you always. There is no time there was no God in you. There is no time there is no God. There will be no time there is no God. So see the God, don't seek the God. Okay. So now what are the 16 parts they are telling? So how the theory of creation started? Pranam asrujata. Otherwise, saha asrujata. He created. Okay. The theory of creation starts now. Pranam, the first component, the first manifestation, the first component of the creation is what? Pranam. Pranam means here energy, cosmic energy. The gross form of energy is what matter today the science is accepting. The subtle part of the matter is what energy, the gross part of the matter energy is what matter. Interchangeable, we can understand now. Now the Vedanta has gone one step further. The energy, the consciousness is being manifested as energy, and the energy will be manifesting as the matter. That's all. Okay. Anyway, I'm giving a very broad view. So energy, here physical energy, mental energy, all type of energies can be taken here. Or the commentator says it is a cosmic subtle body or Hiranyagarbha. Technically, they speak of Hiranyagarbha. Anyway, otherwise, just you can remember energy. Pranam. Saha Asrujata. Purusha created, Ishvara created Pranam. The first component is what? Prana. Pranat Shraddham. From the prana, Shraddha has been created. Faith has been created. Why? Because this faith is what important as a stimulus for every action, for every perception, for every attitude, for every view. Oh, why am I struggling to get something? For example, why the child is struggling or fighting to get a toy? Because the child thinks toy is real. Now, for a grown up person, if I ask him to fight for a toy, then the grown up says, oh, my dear, no, please, no. Why? It doesn't have any much value. It is a pi value, that's all. And maybe a 1 euro or 10 euros, it doesn't have much value. But he may fight for a vehicle. He may fight for an house. Why? He feels it is real. Now, if your life is at stake, then will you fight for your life or for the house? You say, oh, my dear, if I'm leaving, I will see about house. Now, my life is important. I will struggle for my life existence, not for the house. You see how things keep on changing. Why? Because the notion of reality. So that's where I mean the faith. That's fine. Okay. Then kam vayuhu jyotihi apaha pruthivi indriyam manaha. So pranam shraddham kam means space, ether. Vayuhu, air, atmosphere, air. Then jyotihi means fire. Apaha, water. Pruthivi, earth. Indriyam, sense organ. Manaha, mind. Okay. Then annam, then food. Annam, annat viryam. From the food, nutritious value or the energy which we get. Nutritious, nutrition or nutritious value. Then tapaha, tapaha means austerity, actually here tapa means austerity general meaning. Here tapaha means it is worship or meditation. Okay. Mantraha, Vedas. So that's why Vedas is apaurushaya for us. It has not been written, composed by any author. It is revealed. For the rishis, it was revealed. They invented it. They discovered it. Like Newton discovered gravitational force, so the rishis discovered the Vedas, Upanishads. Then karma, actions, then lokaha, the world, whichever is perceptible from our sense organs, that is what the definition of the loka, the world, or even in other way, an infrastructure where living beings can sustain, that is also called, that also can be explained as loka. Then nama. Nama means name. So that's all you understand. So now prana is given importance. Why? Because it is the head. Like if you remember the first and second, what do you say, the chapters of the Prashna Upanishad, we have understood how prana is very important and all. In the Mundaka Upanishad also similar idea we can see. That's why Mundaka Upanishad and also the Prashna Upanishad, they are very interlinked. The Prashna Upanishad, the Prashna Upanishad is like a commentary on the Mundaka Upanishad. Yani. So this is what the theory of creation. Now every Upanishad gives roughly similar idea, same idea, but the process or the components little varies, but the theory of creation more or less it is same. Now you can understand how this world has been created. So according to the Vedanta or according to the Prashna Upanishad, the Purusha, the Ishvara has been manifested as the universe in these 16 components, 16 parts. Now if you remember, if you try to understand, if there is there anything other than this, there is nothing. For an example, star. Star is made up of space. Star is made up of, what do you say, hydrogen or helium, if you say. Again, it is like a gas, fire again, or maybe water, or maybe air, or maybe earth. That's all. For example, wooden table. Wood is made up of what? Again, 5 components. Or for an example, there's a mechanical energy, again in prana. Different type of food delicacies, again comes there. All type of our actions comes there. Mobile, very important in today's world. Mobile comes under where? Under the permutation combination of the 5 components. That's what Panchabhutani. So whatever you see, whatever we can conceive, either manifested or unmanifested, everything comes under these categories. So the Upanishad is giving the broad idea for us how this world how the world came into existence. Now, very well, we should remember the Upanishad, the idea is only make us to quench our intellectual thirst and ask us to, they will ask us to travel back to the source. That is what the consciousness, that we should keep it in a mind. Okay. Now, what happens to Gnani? Now, so many things you are discussing, Swamiji, we are also trying to listen, trying to understand. Sometimes it is easy, sometimes interesting, sometimes boring, sometimes it goes above the head. All these things, fine. What I am going to get? For an example, I does my masters, then I will get a job probably. So I can fill my belly. I can have my bread and butter. So by studying Upanishad, such a beautiful, such a ancient Upanishad, by studying, what do I get? This question might come for us. So for that, the 5th mantra is the answer. What happens to Gnani? So now you remember in the 4th one, they have told very clearly, from Purusha, the whole world has been appeared. Okay. Saha yatha ima nadyaha संध्यमानाः समुद्रयाणः समुद्रं प्राप्याः तं गच्छन्ति विद्यते तासां नामरूपे समुद्र इत्येवं प्रोच्यते एवम् एवास्य परिद्र परिद्रष्टुः इमाः षोडशकलाः पुरुषयाणाः पुरुषं प्राप्य अतं गच्छन्ति विद्यते चासां नाम रूपे पुरुष इत्येवं प्रोच्यते स एषो कालो अमृतो भवति तदेश श्लोकः. You need not to bother about Sanskrit and all. I will tell now. Okay. Now, the Upanishad is telling very clearly for us. For an example, I'll give an example and I'll go there. Now, we have seen a sugar doll. A sweet has been prepared by using sugar. Okay. Now, there is a product called sugar delicacy or a sweet. The main component, there may be some things we have added, fine, but the main component is what? Sugar. Okay. So from the sugar, we created the sweet. Okay, then we ate, we got destroyed or whatever, or just we put in the water, it dissolved in the water, whatever. Now, how did this sugar sweet got created? Sugar sweet got created by the sugar. Okay, when the sugar sweet is there, sugar sweet is existing in where? Sugar sweet is existing in sugar. And when you dissolve that sugar sweet, where the doll goes, where that sweet goes, the sweet goes back to sugar. So creation, sustenance, and dissolution, all the three things happen in the sugar and sugar alone. So the sweet was created out of sugar. When the sweet existing, it was in the sugar. When it dissolved, again it went back to sugar, which is the source. So the whole world was created from Brahman or manifested from Brahman, and it is existing in Brahman and it gets dissolved in Brahman. Okay. Now they are giving an example. We are having a leafy river, beautiful leafy river in the Ireland. And in the India, if you say there is a Ganges, there is a Yamuna river, there's a Brahmaputra river, which is one of the old rivers, Saraswati river, like that. And Nile river, for an example, Egypt civilization and all, we are aware. Now, how this river, what is river? River is got mainly water. And how does it get the water? Oh, we all know that as per generally, there's a water bodies, especially the ocean, because of the sunlight, the water evaporates from the ocean and clouds are formed. Not only mainly from the ocean, it might be from water body, small lake or a river or whatever, mainly from the ocean anyhow. So the clouds are formed and the clouds pour and in the form of rain, and again rivers draw the water from the rain. And the rivers, most of the rivers, either they go and merge with the other rivers, finally, directly or indirectly, most of the rivers, they go and merge in the ocean. The Leafy River merges with the Irish Sea. When the Leafy River merges in the Irish Sea, what happens? When the Leafy River merges with the Irish Sea, Leafy River, where is the Leafy River? The existence of a Leafy River has been nullified, has been dissolved. What does it mean? The individual existence of the Leafy River in the Irish Sea cannot be traced back. That means, is the water has been destroyed? No. The Leafy River water is in the Irish Sea, but we cannot separate it, the Leafy River in the Irish Sea. Why? It has lost its existence. So the name and form, the name has been removed, the name has been destroyed, that's all, but the water has been merged in the ocean. So similarly, all the waters are drawing towards the ocean. This is what the example. Now with the example, they are trying to tell what happens to the Gnani. Okay, now we will go. And they may say, for an example, there are, I think, 2-3 examples. For an example, I think where Botswana, there are some rivers in the desert like Botswana and all, they merge in the, they end up in the desert. And there are like a Jordan river which merges with the Dead Sea, and some rivers merges with the lakes or basins. They are there, but there are exceptions. But generally, most of the rivers, majority of the rivers, 90% or 95% of the river merges with the ocean. That's what we have to understand. We should keep in the mind. Okay. Now, Saha Again, Saha means what? Purushaha or Brahman or Ishvara. Yatha imanadyaha. Yatha, just as Imanadyaha. Imanadyaha means this rivers. This rivers, why? Because the Gurukula used to be on the bank of the river in those days. That's why he's telling very clearly, like this river. He's showing this river. This river, Syandamanaha, means while they are flowing, Samudrayanaha. Samudrayana means they are flowing in the direction of the ocean only. Then Samudram Prapyaha. So they are flowing towards the ocean in the direction of the ocean, and Samudram Prapya means they merge into the ocean. The rivers are flowing in the direction of the ocean and they get merged in the ocean. That you will understand. I don't think anything else is required. Okay. Tam gachanti bidyate. Tam gachanti bidyate. Means what? Tam gachanti means they disappear. Vidyate means what? Merges. So they merge with the sea and they disappear. We get eliminated. Eliminated, disappear, you can say. Gachanti. Okay. Tasam namarupe. When we say it gets disappear means what? Does water get disappear? No. Tasam namarupe. Their name and form. Name and form means as a leafy river it loses its form and it merges in the sea. And leafy river name gets lost. Okay. Samudra iti evam prochyate. Where is the leafy river? Oh, there is no leafy river, my dear. It got merged with the Irish Sea. There is Irish Sea only. The Ganga, such a huge water source, or Brahmaputra, such a huge, one of the biggest river. When they merge in the Bay of Bengal, what happens? They all become the part of Bay of Bengal. So they get the only, it is called ocean or sea, Bay of Bengal. No Ganga, no Yamuna, or no Brahmaputra. That you will understand. Evam, similarly, asya paridrashtuhu. So whatever we see, this world and the 16 components, 16 factors, all these, imaha shodashakalaha. These 16 parts, 16 components. The universe is made up of 16 parts, 16 components. Purushayanaha. They are also traveling towards Purusha, Ishvara. Just like the rivers are flowing towards the ocean, even the 16 parts are also traveling towards Brahman. Purusham prapya. After attaining Purusha, Atham gachanti. They also travel towards the Purusha and they attain the Purusha. Then Vidyate chasam nama rupe. Even their existence, individual existence, name and form are disappeared. Purusha iti evam prochate. Then what do they get the name? They also get, just like the water, the river gets merged in the ocean and they are called ocean. Similarly, all these 16 components, when they merge with the Purusha or Ishvara, even they are also called Purusha, means they are called Ishvara. Sah eshaha akalaha amrutaha bhavati. One who understands this, means here understanding means experiencing this. One who experiences this, sa yeshaha akalaha amrutaha bhavati. Amrutaha bhavati. He becomes immortal. And akalaha. Akala means what? The birth and death. It is kala. There is birth and there is a death. Means there is a space, particular time limit. Akala means he is beyond time, means what? He becomes immortal. Means he doesn't have any more birth and death. In the Egypt civilization, we can see in early mythological stories, even in India, the demonical nature people, they sit for hours together, years together, and they do penance. When the god appears, they say, please bless me, I should become immortal, I should not die anymore. Then the god says routine, oh my dear, whoever has been born, he has to die. If there is a date of manufacture, date of expiry is mandatory. It might be 100, it might be 1,000 years, it might be million years, but if something is produced, something is been born, created, it has to be destroyed. It will destroy, it gets destroyed. So you can't live immortal. So like that. But how can I become immortal? Not through this body and mind, but understanding my nature, experiencing my nature. So now wherever you can understand the whole world, the theory of creation, explaining the intention of Upanishad is only to quench our intellectual thirst and asking us to understand that the world was created from the Brahman, the world was existing in Brahman, and the world will get dissolved in Brahman. That means Brahman and Brahman alone exist, my dear. Then why are you getting obsessed with this world? Why are you getting carried over by this world? Now, the word of caution is the Vedanta is not putting the world in a derogative way. They are asking only us to understand the reality, the notion of reality. The notion of reality has to shift from the world to the consciousness, from the matter to the consciousness, from the world to the God. Now, if I say, maybe, but for me the world is real, then the Upanishad say, okay, my dear, continue your life. Experience all the dualities, good and bad, right and wrong, happiness and unhappiness, joy or sorrow. Bye bye, tata, enjoy it. When you feel tired, when you feel enough of this toy, game, children game, childish game, child play, and let me get out from this. Let me attain everlasting bliss. Let me attain immortality. If you want that, if you are serious about it, then we are giving the answer. They are giving the solution. If you are ready with the toy game, you are ready with the toys, you are ready with the game, child play, then the Upanishad says, please continue, no hurry, my dear. But whoever wants to discontinue and enjoy the immortality or everlasting bliss, for them, we are giving the solution. I will give one more example, probably you'll understand. Now, pot. Now, pot was created. Before pot was created, what was there? Clay. Okay. Now pot has been created. From which? Clay. Now pot is existing. Fine. Pot is existing where? In the clay itself. Because if you remove the clay from the pot, then pot ceases to exist. Now we broke the pot, or pot got broke for accidentally. Then what happens? It went to its original form, clay. So it was clay, it is clay, it will be clay. Okay. Now, part was broken. Okay. Now, now the Vedanta is not asking us to break the part. The Vedanta is asking us to, the Upanishad is asking us to understand and analyze the nature of the part. Before the creation of the part, it was clay. Now, when the pot is existing also, if you try to analyze, the clay has been formed, has been shaped in a particular form, then it has been baked, and we are using it. We are using it for our own purpose. So when the pot is existing intact, even so, it is just nothing but clay, my dear. After its destruction also, again it will be clay only. So that is where it is an cognition, or rather it is an intellectual journey. So moksha, mukti means what? It is the destroying the ignorance. Part means I was carried over by the name and form. The Vedanta is asking the vacharambano vikaro namadeyam vrittikatyeva satyam. Chandogupshat says. The clay alone is real. You might prepare so many articles, so many objects from the clay. They are mere name and form, they are appearance. Mrittika seva satyam. Clay alone is real. Vacharambano namadhyam. Oh, for conversation, for usage, based on the shape, we have got different names. That's all. The name and forms are illusion. The clay alone is real. So this way understand. So the world is dissolved. Where is dissolved? The world was manifested from the Brahman. The world is existing in Brahman. The world was dissolved into Brahman, not in the physical form, cognitively. Means the notion of reality has been dissolved. That's what we mean. So we have to be very clear. That's where man is to become divine by realizing the divine. Realizing the divine means destruction of ignorance. I am not going to get new knowledge. I am not going to attain any new thing, only the removal of ignorance. Someone said for a sculptor, oh dear sculptor, so beautifully you have carved the sculpture, what do you say, the image or the idol from the stone, from the marble. You have carved a beautiful idol. You are the beautiful sculptor, he said. Someone, gave a certificate. Then the sculptor laughed. He laughed and said, my dear, I didn't carve any new thing. The idol was already in the stone. I only removed the unwanted things there. I removed the unwanted things. That's how you say there's a beautiful idol has been carved out from the stone or the marble. So the Vedanta is asking us to remove the unnecessary things, which it is called ajnana, ignorance. What is that ajnana or ignorance? The world is real. The world was real. The world is real. The world will be real. Because of this only, we are hanging on. All of suffering is what? Because not of the world, because of attachment to the world. The world, it cannot be changed. It is like a dog style. Rama came, Krishna came, Ramakrishna came, Buddha came, Jesus Christ came. So many saints came, tried to improve the world. It might have been happened to some extent. Some people got blessed, that's all. But the world was continuing, is continuing, will be continuing, probably. We don't know. So the Vedanta is not asking us to end the world. Vedanta is asking to end the reality about the notion of the world. We have to be very clear. That is what we mean pralaya or laya. That's why Swami Vivekananda beautifully tells him. Sister Nivedita tells in his introduction to complete works of Swami Vivekananda, beautiful. Him who is the one life in a universe of death, him who is the constant basis of an ever-changing world, that one who is the only soul of which all souls are but delusive manifestations. What a magnanimous statement, you see. Him who is the one life in a universe of death. Him who is the constant basis of an ever-changing world. Constant basis for an ever-changing world. That one who is the only soul of all souls are but only delusive manifestations. Anekatmavada, it is all delusive. Then the whole world basis is what on the soul and is the life of human. The birth, the death, everything is based on this life. Now, by understanding this great Advaitic truth, whatever the Swami Vivekananda has spoken, taught, based on the Upanishads, by understanding what happens, Nivedita gives again beautiful understanding, her understanding this. If the many and the one is indeed the same reality, the many is universe, you can say, and the one is indeed same reality, then it is not all modes of worship alone, but equally all modes of work, all modes of struggle, all modes of creation, which are paths of realization. All modes of work, all modes of struggle, all modes of creation, which are paths of creation. There is nothing secular, everything is sacred. No distinction henceforth between sacred and secular. To labor is to pray, to conquer is to renounce. Life is itself religion. To have and to hold is as stern as trust as to quit and to avoid. So when you understand Vedanta, what happens? To labor is to pray. I am farming the land. It is nothing but no equal, no less than meditation. I am ruling. I am trying to do some research work. It is also a worshipping the divine. I am meditating. Yes, of course, it's a worshipping divine. So every work is what? Worshipping the divine, experiencing the divine or whatever. Such a great work is worship basically. Okay, now these two slokas are what you say, it is just a recapitulation or ending. I think I thought I will try to finish off. I think, yeah, there are nothing much. Three slokas. I may take 5 minutes more and we will try to finish it off today. Now, sixth is actually what you say, the Rigveda mantra actually. If you see, iti yesha shlokaha. Amrutah bhavati tat yesha shloka. At the end of the fifth verse, you saw tat yesha shloka. This verse. This verse means what? I am going to quote this verse. This verse is from Rigveda because this is from Atharvana Veda. Prashnopanishad is part of Atharvana Veda, so they don't have any what you say jealousy or quarrel because I am part of Atharva Vedi, so I will not quote Rigveda. No. So Rigveda is the ancient ones, so we respect it. So we are quoting from the Rigveda to substantiate my argument, to substantiate my view. Okay. Ara iva rathana bhau kala yasmin pratishtitaha tam vedyam purusham veda yatha mavo mrutyuhu parimvyatha iti. Iti means this is the idea. What is the idea? Again, we can very well understand it's a simple thing. Now, imagine in the cycle, there is a wheel. Now there are so many types of cycles have come, but I'm telling the traditional vehicle, old cycle. In the vehicle, there is a rim. There is a rim which will help us to go further, basically, for rotating and revolving or whatever. Now the rim, how it gets support? The rim is supported by, in between there will be like a hub actually. There's a between like a small ring like called hub. Hub is the support for the ring actually, for the ring or the wheel. How they are connected both? Between the spokes. There is a wheel which we use for rotation or revolving, and that has been connected with the hub as an like adhara, as a support through the spokes. Now you understand. Wheel, spokes, and the hub. Now the wheel is like a world. Now wheel is like rotating, the world is also rotating. Creation, sustenance, dissolution, creation, sustenance, dissolution. So because of rotation, revolving, and even our earth is revolving, galaxies are revolving, planets are revolving, we all know that. That's why they have taken the example of the wheel. Okay, the wheel is what compared to world. The hub, the center, which is the support for the entire wheel, is what the Purusha, Ishvara. And the spokes, 16 spokes are nothing but the 16 parts which we have seen. Okay, now you understand. Now, how can I stay happily? How can I be peaceful at all times? If someone asks, I may say, maybe if I'm powerful, I may be happy. If I'm a millionaire, I may be happy. If I get a Nobel Prize or my name has been added to Limca records, then I may be happy. Or if I get a beautiful wife or husband, I may be happy. Or maybe children. If I get a children, good children, I may be happy. Like that, we always think happy and peace by getting something, I will be happy. Now, the way the Upanishad is telling, by understanding who am I can be happy, my dear. So such a simple solution and free solution, and it is not costly. It is such a freely available. If I experience who am I, that is the root, that is the solution for my peace, everlasting bliss, everlasting peace. All of them can give temporary solutions, temporary relief. All of them are required, no doubt, but they only can give temporary solutions, temporary peace and bliss. The real happiness, the real security can be given only in the moment I understand who am I. Okay. Ara iva. Ara means spokes. Iva means as spokes. Rathana bhau. Rathana means in the name of a chariot wheel. Because in those old days, they've given chariot wheel. Now you can take cycle wheel also. Rathana bhau. Kalaha. Kalaha means 16 components. We know that. Yasmin pratishtitaha. Just like the spokes are fixed in the chariot wheel, similarly tam vedyam purusha veda. So similarly all these 16 kalas are fixed in the purusha, like the hub, cycle hub. The purusha is the hub and the world is what the wheel, and the 16 spokes are 16 kalas. They are fixed in the purusha. The whole world is fixed in the purusha, means world is existing in the purusha. Ice. What does that ice got? Ice contains nothing but water. So ice is based on the water. Ice is depending on the water. Ice has been formed from the water. Ice is existing in the water. Ice gets dissolved. Again, it goes back to its source called water. Okay. Yatha ma vo mrityuh parimvyata iti. So just like the the spokes, I mean the wheel is depending on the hub connected through the spokes. Similarly, this whole world is been depending on the Purusha, and it is connected like this 16 spokes. Okay. Yasmin, in whom, that is the Purusha, Kalaha, the limbs. Okay. The moment you understand Yatha, so that, oh disciples, please try to understand, Mrityuhu ma vaha parimvyataha. You may not inflict or afflict from the death. Means you become immortal. Means you will be free from the cycle of birth and death. You see, Mrityuhu parimvyataha means you will be ma mrityuhu parimvyataha. You are free from the death. You are free from immortality. You are free from the fear of death. That's what we can see in the life of Swami Vivekananda. When he was traveling in the Himalayas, he encountered with a tiger or lion. He didn't get fear. He didn't run away. He said, "Oh, my dear, I am also hungry. You are also hungry. And I don't know, I am traveling in the forest. I don't know whether I get a food or not. Come on, come and eat this body, consume this body, so that I will feel happy, content that I feel that I was able to serve an animal." Imagine. How that courage, fearlessness, how did he get? Because he had experienced Nirvikalpa Samadhi. He knew who is he in reality. Okay. Now we can understand. You don't need much understanding here. Okay. Now, the seventh and eighth is only concluding slokas. We will finish it off. Tan hovacha एतावत् एतावदेव अहमेतत् परं ब्रह्म वेद नातः परम् अस्ति इति. Okay, for 16 disciples, now he's telling Tan to them means what? To 6 disciples. Ha uvacha, ha uvacha. Uvacha ha means he said. Who said? Pipilada said, teacher. Again, etat etavat eva. Etavat eva. Okay, what was the question? Sukesha Bhardwaj asked, who is this 16 Purusha? Shodashakala Purusha. Shodashakala Purusha, who is that? He is a Ishvara, who is the cause for this world. And by knowing that, you will get the immortality, has been told. Yetavadeva. That's all, my dear. There is nothing else to understand. That's all. This far only you can go. This is what you can understand. Beyond this, there is nothing else to understand. Yetavateva. Yetam param brahma. Yetavadeva means, okay, only this much means what? There is nothing else, there is nothing beyond. So, yetat param brahma, this is that supreme Brahman. There is nothing else to be known. There is nothing else beyond this. Ataha param nasti, therefore, there is nothing beyond this. Then you may get question, oh, etavateva, thus far only, my dear. Then the devotee or the disciple understand, okay, there might be something else which you don't know, Guru. Just like I didn't know when the prince asked me, you might also don't know that means. That's why he's telling, atah param nasti. There is nothing after this, my dear. It is not that I don't know beyond this. There is nothing beyond this to be known. That's why enough. Whatever is the question, I have answered you, and beyond this, Shodashakala Purusha, who is that Shodashakala Purusha understanding, there is nothing beyond to be known. So, my dear, be happy, understand, and experience. Okay. Tetam archayantaha tvam hi nah pita यह अस्माकं विद्याः परम्पारं तारयसि इति नमः परम ऋषिभ्यो नमः परम ऋषिभ्यः. They again, they means what? Here pronouns, so much they use pronouns, we have to contextually understand everywhere. They means they means who? They means here the 6 disciples. Okay. Te tam archayantaha, they are worshipping him. Tam means him, to him. Who is he? Again, him means what? Pipilada. Worshipping. They have taken the flowers with the good words, with praiseworthy words. They are worshipping his feet. Why? Because he has given such a invaluable, priceless wisdom. So now they have finished their course. They have finished their teaching. So with a due respect, uttering good words, praising him, with showing the act as a part of act of respect and reverence, they are offering the flowers at his lotus feet. It is a way of showing respect. For example, in Christian religion, they kiss the frock or they kiss the ring of the Pope or the Father. So similarly, Archayantyaha, they are worshipping his feet by offering flowers and saluting by touching their foreheads on his feet. Te tam archayantaha. Okay, after that, I think tvam hi, they are using some praise, they are praising him. What praise words they are using? Tam hi na pita. Tvam hi, you indeed, naha pita, you are our father also. Father has given a biological birth. Biological father has given a birth for us, no doubt. You are a pita means what? You have given the birth for us by giving the knowledge. So you are just like our father. You are giving a second birth for us by giving the wisdom. Yeah, asmakam avidyayaha paramparam. And you are more than that. Why? Because our asmakam avidyayaha, our ignorance, asmakam ours, avidyaha ignorance, param means other shore, param. So you have removed our greatest ignorance. Ignorance about physics, ignorant about Irish language, ignorance about Sanskrit, ignorance about geometry. They're all small ignorance. But ignorance of oneself is what? Supreme ignorance. That is the best, the big ignorance. So supreme ignorance. So that supreme ignorance has been removed from us, and you have taken to the other shore of the ocean. So this samsara, this world of birth and death, or the world is compared to the ocean. So I am other side of the ocean. Then using the boat, we have traveled to the other side of the ocean, other bank, other shore. So param means other shore. So you have taken us to other shore of the ocean. So now we are liberated, or we have got liberation. We have got attained the Brahmagnana or the Gnana, or at least knowledge. That's why Namaha Paramarushibhya. And not only you, because you might have got from your guru yourself, or you might have got from your guru's teachers. There is a lineage. There is a section of teacher and student, teacher and student, teacher and student. Namah Paramarushibhya means I am also our respects to not only you and to all that gurus, all the teachers, whoever has come in that lineage, in the tradition, my respects to all of them. Namah Paramarushibhya. And I'm respecting you and to the entire lineage. So to show respect, they have told twice. And also this is one of the style in the Upanishad accepted. If they tell the same thing twice, the same word, that means it is the end of the chapter. It is the end of the topic. And it is the end of the discussion. Nama Paramarushibhya. My salutations to the Rushi and to the lineage. Iti Prashnopanishad Shatshta Prashnaha. This ends the 6th chapter. This ends the Prashnopanishad class also. ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Rama Krishnarpanamastu. Yeah, if you got any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Pranam Swamiji, I have one basic question.
Mhm.
When everything is existing, everything is formed, then existing, and also then merging with the Brahman, why not the karmas? So what happens to the karmas? Why do they persist? And then why during the next creation, as we saw in the first answer to the first Prashna, Hiranyagarbha is meditating and he's thinking and then he's creating. Why do karmas persist, but the beings merge? So what happens there?
Now we have 2-3 things. Okay. Now, for an example, a person attains Brahmagnana. Again, word attaining is a very limited sense we are using. We have to understand contextually. So the moment when I realize who am I, what happens? So the karma phala, fruits of action based on the time of rectification, it has been divided into 3 parts, 3 groups. Prarabdha, Agami, Sanchita. Prarabdha is what? The fruits of action which you have withdrawn. Which we have withdrawn and which you are at present experiencing. Then Sanchita is what? Which is stored in your account, life account. Agami is what? Which you are going to accrue, which you are going to get fresh from the fresh action. Like tomorrow you go to job, you are paid. Otherwise, no. In that way, I'm saying. Okay. Now, when a person experiences the Brahman or God experience of Brahman, what happens? His prarabdha karma He has to experience. His body, he means his body and mind has to experience. Okay. Now, Sanchita, which was stored, that gets destroyed.
Hmm.
Then Agami, no fresh accumulation of the karma.
Okay.
So no Agami, no Sanchita. No accumulation or the old stock, and no fresh accumulation, no fresh stock.
Hmm.
For example, now you want to close your business. So you will try to clear off all your what you say the stock, and you get away from the stock, and whatever the stock is there till then you may run the business. That's it. Afterwards you are not going to pile up with a new stock. That's what happens. Then when prarabdha gets over, if you are a jivan mukta, then your prarabdha gets over, you die. So the person, the jivan mukta dies. What happens? His physical body is left over.
Hmm.
His subtle body gets disintegrated.
Okay.
His subtle body gets disintegrated. That means there is no more birth and there is no more death.
Okay.
This is what happens to jivan mukta. Now there is a videha mukti. Videha mukti means at the time of death, I experience who am I.
Hmm.
For such person, what happens? Yes, at the time of death, he experiences who is he or who is she. Then what happens? For them also same thing. No agami, of course, they are dying, no agami. And prarabdha already has been done. Everything has been finished out. I mean, they have experienced the prarabdha karma. Sanchita karma, whatever it was stored, that will get destroyed.
Hmm.
So no three more karmas, agami, prarabdha, sanchita. The three are not existing. And because he has experienced the Brahman, the scriptures gives an assurance for us that he will also be liberated. Means his subtle body gets disintegrated.
Hmm.
When there is no subtle body, there is no more birth and death,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
When there is no vehicle, when there is no diesel in your vehicle, you can't drive anymore. So the diesel is what? Your karma. Because of your karma, you are having a subtle body. No karma, no subtle body, no driving force. So you can't take birth and death. Okay, this is what for Videha Mukti happens. Now, now there is a Agnani. Now, for an example, I have done some little japa meditation or whatever. Now, for an Agnani who has not realized, now if I die, what happens? Based on my karma phala, based on my fruits of actions, I will be taking the new life.
Hmm.
So the death is what? It is a temporary stop. It is like a karma. It is a temporary stop. Now you are traveling to, for example, India. In India, there was you took, for an example, Emirates. So you went to the Dubai. For Dubai for 6 or 8 hours, 10 hours, or maybe 1 or 2 days, for example, you are there. There's a temporary stop. Your stop is what? Final stop is destination is India. So like that, there's a temporary stop. Temporary stop is what? The death. Then once you take birth, again continues.
Yeah.
Now there is a Atyantika Pralaya. Atyantika Pralaya is what? For example, tsunami or come, something happens. Basically, the whole earth gets destroyed. Or rather, the whole population gets cleared. So everyone dies, everyone, no exception, everyone dies, for example, understanding sake. Or for discussion sake, we'll take this. Everyone has been cleared, everyone has been dead. What happens? No, all of us, our body, physical bodies gets, I mean, just like it gets rotten, or it becomes a soil, or it becomes an ash or whatever. But our subtle body, along with our karma phala, fruits of action, will be in the seed form in the Hiranyagarbha.
No. Okay. Hmm.
When the creation, new cycle starts, new cycle starts, again, we start with that backlog. So now you understand, isn't
Yes.
it? So
Yes.
after the death, during death or after death, what happens? And if there is a pralaya, if there's a, I mean, what do you say, destruction of the entire creation itself, till new creation, we have to wait. And when the new creation starts, we get, our life journey starts.
So ultimately, it depends on which stage of realization a person is in this life. So that is the determining factor.
Yeah, the moment you realize, you will be free. That's all. Till then, you have to be in this, what do you say, whirlpool.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Thank you,
Yeah.
Swamiji.
Yeah. So, any other question?
Maharaj, what will be the next venture? Like, this is over, right?
Yeah. Is there any suggestion or any interest? Anything?
Mandukya?
Mandukya is the last Upanishad to be studied. Just we have
Mm,
started Upanishad series now. Probably only one Upanishad we did, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, Prashna Upanishad only we have done. Yeah.
Swamiji, what about Atma Bodha or Advaita Makaranda? I have heard really nice things about these.
Yeah, Atma Bodha, I think because it is a Prakarana Grantha, already I've done Tattva Bodha.
Yes.
So I think Atma Bodha is not required.
Hmm.
Yeah, Advaita Makaranda is also an introductory text actually.
Okay.
That also can be thought. And I was also thinking just to take a small break or a small thing. One is either make a Kenopanishad or Katopanishad,
Mhm.
or you can say Uddhava Gita.
Okay.
Uddhava Gita is a mixture of bhakti and gnana. It's mainly gnana, but bhakti also included there. So I was thinking either Uddhava Gita or maybe Kenopanishad or Katopanishad.
Okay.
Yeah, let me
I'm
see.
I'm
And
really
if you
interested
got
in
any suggestions, let me know. Yeah.
Kathopanishad is really interesting, Swamiji. Since you introduced me to the mantras, it is very, very interesting. So, if
Yeah.
possible, I am, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, Rohan wants Mandukya Upanishad. He's a very fan of Avastatra Vichara.
Swamiji, why not Shiva Gita actually?
Shiva Gita. Yeah, Shiva Gita is also quite interesting. So you are interested in Shiva Gita, is it?
Yes, because I feel like I'm more emotionally connected to Lord Shiva.
Lord Shiva. Okay. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, I will also think little what I can do. I'll come back. Yeah, either of Uddhava Gita or Shiva Gita or Kena or Katha. In this four, I will try to do something. Yeah.
Thank you.